This gym gets so quiet that when people are working out, they feel they need to whisper to each other so they don't create some sort of loud noise that's out of the extraordinary. So I'm gonna grab a quick shoulders and arm workout during lunch. Just focusing on volume, nothing heavy, just getting blood moving to these muscles. I woke up this morning at 221.6 pounds. I've been weighing myself consistently for the last 4 days since I got the scale. So when I first started weighing myself in the morning, I was 222. So I'm losing weight very slowly. That's why I like weighing myself consistently, because you can see, where the changes are being made and then where you need to adjust your macros or training based off of that. Cardio-wise this week, typically we do cardio 3 times a week with PT. Monday we did a 5-mile run, and then we didn't do anything else middle of the week because we didn't do PT. For that cardio day, we got caught doing something else. And then tomorrow we'll end up doing I think we're doing a 8-mile ruck march tomorrow morning. So that'll be our cardio for that. Plenty of cardio. But for music-wise, sometimes I listen to rap or rock or all this different house music kind of stuff. But there's certain days where this is my go-to, experimental stuff. This band is called This Will Destroy You. One of my favorite experimental instrumental bands. I could really break this workout into 2 days, and that's the way I would prefer to do it. Have a day strictly of shoulders and a day strictly of arms. And I think when I'm out of the Army and I own my gym, I'll be there all day. The way I'm going to do it is a 2-a-day on this workout. So high volume shoulders in the morning and then high volume arms in the evening. And that's the best way I've seen my shoulders and my delts, traps, and arms respond and grow. Just throwing them so much volume and then kind of just watching the process. And with me being in the Army and doing PT in the morning and then strength training and resistance training in the evening, my body's ability to recover has adapted and grown pretty well. And the more volume over time you throw your body and put it through, the better your recovery system will be at handling this kind of volume. But the way I approach my shoulder workouts is I kind of look at it in 3 different ways. And I'll start with hitting movements that work on my front delt, like overhead presses, either that dumbbell or barbell. And then I'll go into side lateral raises, working on the side of the delt. And then I'll finish off with rear delts. Typically face pulls are my favorite movement. But what I've been thinking lately while I'm still planning this whole gym out and looking at equipment needs, and I'm kind of interested in what you guys kind of want and need in a gym, because personally, when I go to a gym, I really want to overhead press, and there's only certain places you can do that if there's power racks. You can't typically power or overhead press in a power rack depending on how tall you are. One of the things we're kind of planning on doing right now is building, and it's kind of CrossFit styled, is putting the Rogue Infinity wall mount in the gym. So you have the ability to go over there and you can do overhead presses. You're not restricted to a bar over your head. You can do your squat, your bench press over there. You can do weightlifting and powerlifting movements as well as just deadlift in front of it. So I'm really interested in what you guys not necessarily prefer in a gym, or what you really need, what kind of problems you're finding in your gyms that could be solved in a new one. Another thing I need to watch here on Cam Casey is wearing a hat backwards. Actually, on post and off post. If you wear a hat backwards, you get in trouble. But I'm trying to take some quick promo shots because Logan Delgado of Unchained Athletics sent me some new stuff of his new launch he recently did. So I figured I'd come out here. I found a new spot. This is where we actually come for PT to do our track workouts, high intensity cardio, kind of our VO2 max day workouts. It's a mile off from my place, my barracks. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is things that just aren't for you. And I'm a huge advocate of learning every day, teaching yourself, improving yourself. And I prefer listening to podcasts right now rather than reading books, just because of convenience for time. I can listen to a podcast and multitask, and I can write content for the site or edit a video or do stuff for the business at night, as well as listen to a podcast and do one or the other. When I have time, I'll read more books, which I really want to do and get more involved in reading on business. But beside the point, this topic of this podcast was things that just aren't for you. As much as you want them to be, as much as you want to enjoy them and that be part of your life, there are certain things that you're just not ready for. And a prime example is back when I originally started my business. Entrepreneurship at that time in my life just wasn't for me. I wasn't willing to put in the time, the effort to reach out to customers, to grow my base, to grow my social media platforms, because I was telling myself I was too busy with the Army and getting ready for active duty. But at the same time, if it's something you really want to do, you'll put in the work. At this point in my life, 3 years later, it is for me. That's all I ever want to do. This is my passion, growing my business, the fitness industry. This is for me, and I know that right now. But a lot of people that are asking the simple questions, I can't stay disciplined on my diet. What should I do? I can't stay disciplined on working out. I want to grow my business, but I can't seem to put the time or the motivation or the effort into that. It's not for you then. Unfortunately, that's something that you just may not succeed at ever because you're not willing to put in that work. There are certain things that certain people are meant to do, and there are certain things that other people aren't meant to do. And it's relative to the individual. It took me a long time to learn this. As much as there's some things that you really want to do, if you can't put the heart or you can't dedicate yourself fully to that mission set or that task, maybe it's just not for you. And if I was on the other side of this camera and someone was telling me it's just not for you or just not for me, that would literally piss me off. And I would say F you, and that would make me work that much harder. And it's kind of what this podcast lately made me do is, it said, if you can't get your business or you can't get your life to this point, maybe this certain thing isn't for you. And it literally pissed me off deep inside. That made me work that much harder. So if there's something you really want to do what you got to do. Suck it up, embrace it, be disciplined.
So what you want to do, 0330?
Yeah, 0330 works.
Okay.
What's your plan to do with these guys?
They're going to bring all their bags.
And are you going to smoke them?
Well, if they're fucked up, yeah.
All right.
If not, then I don't need to.
Are you going to pull the alarm?
Nah, I can't.
Okay, cool. And then we'll step off at 5 for 8 miles?
Roger.
All right, that works.
And that will be our mission. All right.
Later. That's going to be good. I will see you guys at this ruck march. So we surprised the platoon this morning with a pre-ruck inspection. Right now it's about 4 a.m. So I went on the floor, their floor of the barracks room. They're on the second floor while CQ was telling them. And I was like hiding behind the stairwell so I could hear them, but they couldn't see me. They're pissed. They're pretty pissed. So it's funny because I came to the gym right after the ruck march, and we started earlier than usual. Usually PT starts at 6:30, and that's universal all over Post. So by the time we got done at 7, people were still doing PT. So I'm walking to the gym in, regular civilian attire, everyone else's uniform. Everyone's giving me a bad look because they just assume I'm shamming. Little do they know, we did more PT than any of them today. So today just happens to be leg day. Luckily, after 8-mile ruck march, so I'm going to hit legs probably half now. I have to go to work a little earlier, and then I'll finish the rest of the workout probably after work during lunch. Just finish up with like calves and some light accessory stuff. All right, so I'm on lunch right now. The way I'm gonna wrap up this video is by answering a few questions that I opened up on Snapchat last night. If you're not following me on Snapchat, I open up some Q&As or answer any questions you shoot me. It's BearPN. I'll have it on the screen right here if you wanna follow me there. I'll go through a few and we'll find the ones that are kind of pertain to most people and we'll answer those. Now that they're not questions, Chase tuning. All right, let's try again.
It's a sad day when you get down to your last couple scoops at your flight. Time to order some more.
Yeah, so I've been following your program that you gave me a while back, and I'm trying to get stronger, but get a leaner body. And I wanted to know if you have any tips for me. The program has really been helping me get get stronger and break through my plateaus, but I haven't noticed any cuts that I've been getting, and I think that's primarily a diet. And like always, big fan. Great work, man. Keep it up.
All right, so you want to get stronger, you want to put on some size, but you also want to get cut too. I get this question a lot, and sometimes you need to either decide what you want to do. Are your goals to be bigger and stronger, or are your goals to be aesthetic, lean, and cut? And then gear your training and your diet towards that. To get leaner, to get abs, and to show some muscle definition, you need to go into a deficit or lose body fat and get leaner. That's the way it's going to work. You can't necessarily transform fat into muscle, and it just doesn't work like that. You train, you get bigger, you put some size on, and then you cut the fat. There's a fly right in my face. It's getting warmer here in Korea. It's getting hot. There's bugs everywhere right now. It's crazy.
The whole Bear Nutrition's athletes, how are you picking those?
So on April 2nd, I will release a video on the YouTube channel, go into detail how to apply for the BPN Athlete Search Contest. It's going to be different from most companies, the way they do it. This is kind of an example of what I was dealing with yesterday. Someone was tagged in a post of mine on my company's page about the sponsored athlete search, and they shot me an email really quick saying, hey, I want to be sponsored by your company. And I said, well, I'll release the details soon about how you can apply and go through the process. And their response was, I don't do contests. I don't apply. I kind of just want the sponsorship. And kind of what this whole video is about, well, then this company's not for you, man. If you're not willing to put the work in or go out of your way and be noticed and stuff like that, it's not for you. And you won't really fit the brand image that I'm trying to portray. So the company and the person that's being sponsored really have to match and mesh well.
I've been on a cut now for about a week, and I've cut my calories by 500. I go to the gym and lift for about an hour to an hour and a half every day, and I do 20 minutes of cardio. But I haven't really seen any change in my weight over the past week. I stay constant about like 162, 162.2, and so on. Any tips?
I'm actually working with someone in person here on Post right now that has kind of had that problem too. You go into your deficit, say you take your deficit to 500 calories, or from the start you're incorporating cardio, you're not losing any weight. One reason and one fault I have found people that are experiencing this, they aren't tracking accurately. So, going here on the dining facility here on Post, it's hard to track pretty accurate. If you're not tracking accurately, your variable of calories by deficit or surplus can be way off. Second reason is you might have to go into a deeper deficit or add in some more cardio. Some people just can't diet on, like for me, I'm dieting right now on 425 grams of carbs. Some people just can't do that, and they need to go deeper into a deficit. So if you're not seeing results, make sure you're tracking accurately and consistently, or maybe just push that deficit a little further.
Running out of pre-workout, and I have C4 here. Why should I order Intraflight and not C4? What are the differences? What's better about your product?
I didn't want this video or this Q&A to turn into like a supplement, pitch. But it kind of goes into another podcast I recently listened to. It's perfecting your pitch. Now, if you can't tell someone exactly about your products or your service or what you're selling, you got a problem. Maybe you don't have a niche or a competitive advantage. My pitch for my supplements to people always, it's truth, it's honesty, it's integrity behind the company. What makes us different? It's that we show you everything that's in the products. We show you the exact ingredients and dosages that are backed by studies. If you take that ingredient profile, you look at the supplement facts, and you go research that ingredient based off effective, peer-reviewed literature, you're going to find that same dosage in those studies and in our products. They're effective, they work. We don't add ingredients that you don't need and that are unnecessary or fillers. We add what you need, what gets the job done, and you're going to feel it. When you use the products, you're definitely going to feel it. All right, guys, so that's the video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you did. Leave a comment below. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, please. It always gives me good feedback that, whether you guys are enjoying the videos, not enjoying the videos. I'll talk to you in that next one.